This is Channel 48 News with anchor Omnis Oedipus covering a breaking news story.
Hi, I'm Omnis Oedipus from Channel 48 News Rome, here to cover a devastating volcanic eruption in the small town of Pompeii. Pompeii, a beautiful Mediterranean town, also a farming village and community, was devastated today after Mount Vesuvius created a massive eruption the scale of several Neptune-caused tsunamis. Now broadcasting outside of Pompeii is our field reporter, Rexus Dominus. How are you doing today, Rexus?
Doing well on this. I am standing a far distance away from the towns of Pompeii and Herculaneum, where Mount Vesuvius released a violent eruption, creating one of the most devastating natural disasters in history. So far, there have been over 1,000 deaths from this eruption. Rescue attempts have begun, with one attempt being most notable by Pliny the Elder. I'm here with a survivor from the eruption. Please, tell us of your experience.
Well, I was a grape farmer. Pompeii used to be a very fertile and pleasant town.
How did you manage to escape the eruption, though?
Well, after the earthquake 17 years ago, a very, very long time ago for me, I knew that the mountain could not be safe anymore. So I took precautions and set underground passageways in the sewers.
Really? How were you covered in ash?
Because I started to leave when the ash was beginning to fill.
That's very interesting. Did you happen to breathe in any of the ash? I hear that's common when tephra falls. Yet another one gone. Back.
Thank you, Rexus. Now we will go to Lucius Marca, professor of volcanology at the University of Rome. How are you doing today, Lucius?
Good. How about you, Omnis?
Pretty great.
Alright, so there is two possible explanations for this volcano. I'm going to talk about two of them and also ways how volcanoes are hazards to certain areas. The first explanation for this disaster is it's mythological and that the gods happen. And we don't know if that's entirely true based on recent findings in science. And the second is basic volcanology. Alright, so what happens is that volcanoes are on subduction boundaries where one plate boundary slides beneath another. And volcanoes basically serve as like a bound between those boundary between them. Basically, they lie on top of the intersecting. So mantle convection currents from the mantle, of course, lies up and lava basically spurts out. Vesuvius is a composite volcano. There are three types. Composite, which is the most dangerous, it erupts it rests for a while, then erupts, and they're the second largest. And then there's cinder cones, which are like these small little ones that eventually grow out of ash, though. And they're still pretty dangerous, though. And then there's also shield volcanoes. Those ones I don't know about dangerous that much, but what they do is they erupt a ton, but small eruptions a ton, but they grow over time from them. And that's also, now I'm going to talk about ways they are dangerous. The first and most deadly, pyroclastic flow, it also can be French for nuées ardentes. Those are just like these moving piles of ash that just come rushing through. They're just clouds and they can literally decimate anything in its tracks. There's also tephra, which is basic ash, and from tephra you have blocks, which is like these giant things about larger than 64 millimeters, that if the way to basically avoid blocks is to look at it falling down and move out of the way quickly. Bombs are similar, but they're semi-molten, so I mean, they're still dangerous. What's worrying about...
More dangerous, right?
Yeah. What's worrying about smaller tephra and ash is that you can inhale it, and like the grape farmer who recently passed, he basically bled out because he inhaled it and it scraped up his lungs so much that he bled. And then there are lahars, which are basically melted snow that volcanoes erupt. The lava melts the snow and it moves with water and a mud flow down and can stop a lot of things in its track. And lava, it's dangerous, but you gotta stay away from the source and you'll be fine. Also, one other thing about this volcano is that I don't know when it's going to erupt again, but volcanologists are predicting that it will erupt sometime in the 1940s. Even though that's over 1,000 years from now, we should still take precautionary measures for the Roman Empire. And that's it for tonight. I'd like to thank Omnis and all
Thank you for coming.
Alright.
This has been a Channel 48 News Rome broadcast. Now time for a word from our sponsors. Good night, everybody.
This was a Channel 48 News Rome breaking news report with anchor Omnis Oedipus assisted by field reporter Rexus Dominus. Now, good night and a word from our sponsors. Copper, at the lowest prices. The Copper Exchange in Rome. We are a large copper company that manufactures copper in its own factories. You can save up to 80% by buying from the Copper Exchange in Rome. So if you want copper jewelry and a good deal, please stop by the Copper Exchange in Rome.
Thank you, Rexus. Now we will talk to Lucius Marquet, professor of volcanology at the University of Rome. How are you doing today, Lucius?
Good, how about you on this?
Good, thank you.
Alright, so there's two explanations for Mount Vesuvius. The mythological one is basically the gods just did it. And then there's the volcanology.
Was that right now, right?
Yes.